equal in knowledge, yeah, equal in everything else, except the age, and therefore the elders should lead the prayer. Right? However, there are other hadith which shows that if among them there are people of knowledge, there are people whose recitation of the Quran is the best, he should lead the prayer. But if there are others who are also equally good in reciting the Quran, then get someone who also knows more hadith than this person. So the knowledge of hadith. If still there are equals, then get the people who migrated first to be the leader, to lead the prayer, right? So it goes on, right? And if you actually go through it, in fact, according to this book, it says that the number one is the age. In other words, you first look at the age, and then you look at the knowledge, and then you look at the stature of the person. He might be a leader in the community. He might be a prime minister. He might be a minister. Then give them the status, right? But in accordance with some other sources, it is not the age that is number one. Number one is still the knowledge. Because otherwise the hadith which says that the person who is the best in reciting the Quran first, that means it is the knowledge. It's not the age, right? So first of all is the knowledge. Among the people, if there are still equal, then you get someone with a certain stature. For example, he is a qadi, right? He holds certain position in the community, then he is next, right? If there are still others, then among them you got to look for the one who is the elder. So the elder becomes the next stage. It's not the first, but it's the next stage. Right? Now suppose the elder also the same, they are twins, for example. Which one do you choose? Any answer? Huh? No. That one, again, suppose the older is, but same age, right? Then what happened? Anyone? Yes? 51? No. The handsomer of the two will be the leader. The reason is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created all prophets, without exception. They are all perfect human beings. They are all very handsome. And the handsomest is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? So the handsome of them will lead the prayer. Okay? Alright. Now walking with the elderly. I think I mentioned this now. But there is a story about three persons. Number one, his name is Jalan Al-Habsyi, himself a jurist and a judge and an imam. He is a jurist, he is a judge and an imam. His name is Jalan Al-Habsyi. While walking this, and another guy who is his student, Sheikh Abu Ya'la's student, was walking with him. So Abu Ya'la asked him, if you walk with someone you honor, where would you walk? He said, I do not know. And he said, walk to the right, place him at the position of imam in the prayer. Leave his left side clear in case he needs to speak or to get rid of them. An interesting story about three people. Number one, he is a judge, Ahmad bin Umar bin Surai. Number two, he is a faqih, that means he is a jurist, Muhammad bin Dawud, right, Al-Zahiri. And the third one is a linguist. His name is Naftawih. They were all walking right, together. Right? Suddenly they reach a very narrow part of the road where not three of them can go through at once. One by one has to go through. Right? So what do you think they would say? Now the first one said this, Ibn Suray. Ibn Suray is the most senior of them, among them. He's a judge as well as a jurist and also an imam. Right? So he said, a narrow street brings ill manners. A narrow street brings ill manners. In other words, there is no protocol already. Right? Then the second one, Ibn Dawud said, who is the faqih, though it points out status. In other words, the moment you take your position, then we know who is senior, who is not senior, and so on. It points out status, right? And number three, the linguist said, when prance prevails, formalities disappear, no more protocols. So the comment is, this story does not tell who went ahead of the others, but it is likely that Ahmad bin Suray, who is the judge as well as a big imam in that particular time, said what he said, and that is, narrow street, a narrow passageway will, what do you call it? What did he say? A narrow street brings ill manners. In other words, he might have moved first, right? But Ibn Dawud responded differently, though it points out status. He said, but what happened is, a narrow street brings ill manners, that is what Surah said, apologizing or politeness for going ahead, possible. Yeah. He could not have said it if any of the two move ahead, since that would be impolite. He wouldn't have said it if the other two were actually to take up the positions. And there is a possibility that the third fellow, Naftawi, who went ahead, since his words could be an analogy for doing that, since he is the least ranked, then he said it shows ill manners. Right? So he might have. But it is very interesting how they respect each other. How they respect each other. Beautiful. Now, the elderly are to be served first. Right? Give precedence to the elderly or to dignitaries ahead of anyone else. After that, you may proceed with those on their right. Sometimes what we think is that every time we start on the right. It is not true. What you should do is, you look around and see who is the most senior. Senior in age, one. Senior in stature, another. Senior as a scholar, another. So if they were sitting around in a circle, right, then you choose that most senior person to be served first. Start with him, and then you can go next to the right of him, irrespective of who he is. So you start from the right doesn't mean that you start anywhere from the right. The right person to start with is the most senior, the most respected. And the most senior, the most respected is elderly, the age, right? Also the knowledge as well as the stature. These are the three. Okay. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, in terms of, there are so many verses of the Quran which shows, the person with knowledge is much better than the person without, right? For example, one of them is قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ إِنَّمَا يَتَذَكَّرُ إِلَّا أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ وَقُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ. Say, O Muhammad, is it the same for those people who have the knowledge with those people who don't have the knowledge? It's not the same, right? إِنَّمَا يَتَذَكَّرُ إِلَّا أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ. Verily, the person who will always be reminded of things are those who always think. Are the thinkers, ulul albab are the thinkers. Right? So that is what the Quran says. In other words, the person with knowledge. That's why I started by saying, giving respect to elders was actually an Arabic culture adopted by the Prophet ﷺ. It's not from the Quran. The Quran does say that more to the parents, not to the elders in general. Okay? But the Prophet is the one who insisted that it is the elders who should be given the due respect. Okay? So, you look at the Quran, it is more the people of knowledge. That is why I said the first priority is people of knowledge. The second priority is the people of stature. But people of stature, people in authority who are not zalim, right? Who are just leaders. Zalim leaders cannot come, right? So zalim leaders cannot come. We should count only the just leaders. Then only we go to the elders. So the elders is always one of those that we consider very important, right? Now, one of the hadith Imam Muslim reported, Shukran, Ibn Mas'ud said that the Prophet ﷺ said, "Let your wise and major pray immediately behind me, then those who trail behind them, then those who trail behind them." In other words, behind the Prophet, it is always Abu Bakr, Umar, the nearest companions. And then the next level, and then the next level. Right? So if we go to the mosque today, we find this order is bicara kaji. Yeah? Sometimes people who remain in the first seat, in the first place, right, where the Bilal should be, they just take that place. You know? I don't even know who they are. You know? People do not understand the order. People do not have the adab. They don't have the adab. If they know this hadith, then they should shy away. They should not just rush, to be right behind the imam, because it is not your place. It is the place of the wise, that means of the knowledgeable people, of the mature, that means of the elderly, and not just anybody. Right? But we go anywhere today, it's not like that. Sometimes artists also become there. I saw one artist there. Anyway, we cannot suspect, but he's not elderly enough. Now, the other one is Imam Bukhari reported that Jabir ibn Abdullah radiallahu anhu said, after the battle of Uhud, and this is very interesting, after the battle of Uhud, the Prophet ﷺ wanted to bury two of the shuhada in one grave. Just before he put both of them into the same grave, he asked, who among these two who memorized more of the Quran? And one of them was pointed out. This one memorized more than the other. So he laid the one who has memorized more of the Quran first. Then only he laid the second. Again, the knowledge. Again, the knowledge. Of course, we don't put both, two in the same grave. But if we do, then we should do that. We should follow that. Right? Now, in fact, Muslim reported that Abdullah ibn Umar stated that the Prophet ﷺ said, I dreamt I was brushing my teeth with siwak when two men approached me. I handed the siwak to the younger, but was instructed to hand it to the older. Accordingly, I handed it to the older. Who instructed? Not mentioned. We don't know. And Imam Abu Dawud reported as a fair hadith, Hasan, that Abu Musa al-Ash'ari stated that the Prophet ﷺ said, part of paying homage to Allah, in other words, part of glorifying Allah, part of the way to glorify Allah is to respect an elder whose hair has turned grey, or a regular reader of the Quran, or a just ruler. It's part of glorifying Allah. you are supposed to serve the elder first, right? So when you serve a drink, you serve the what you call when you serve fruits, when you serve food and so on, you have to serve the elders first. And according to the hadith, one of the companions said, you know, when they are invited for a meal with the Prophet ﷺ, they will never reach for the food unless the Prophet has done so. Unless the Prophet has actually reached for the food, they will know. Of course, we know, for example, when the Surah Al-Hujurat came down, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا ترفعوا أصواتكم فوق صوت النبي. O you who believe, do not raise your voice above the voice of the Prophet. What happened? Most of the people whisper when they talk to the Prophet, they whisper. So much so it is difficult for the Prophet to hear. But they are afraid that they will raise their voice higher than the voice of the Prophet. Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu once late for Fajr prayer. And when he was late, he was walking towards the mosque and he saw one man. He thought it was an elderly person. So he respected the elder. So he never overtook the elder. So he was walking behind the man who was walking towards the mosque. When he reached the mosque, the man did not enter the mosque, but the man went straight because he is a Yahud. Right? So the Prophet, Sayyidina Abu Bakr went inside the mosque and found the Prophet ﷺ was making the ruku' of the first rak'ah. Right? So when he made the ruku' of the first rak'ah, Sayyidina Abu Bakr said, Alhamdulillah. Why? He managed to catch the first rak'ah. Because he never missed. Right? But because of that old Jew, he almost missed the first rak'ah. Right? So he said, Alhamdulillah. And you know what happened? Before that incident, all actions in the salah starts or precedes with Allahu Akbar, except salah, including i'tidal. And all actions in the salah is preceded by Allahu Akbar. I'm going to do Allahu Akbar. Rukuk Allah, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, not yet. It was Allahu Akbar all the way, except Salah. But at that time, the Prophet ﷺ was asked by Jibreel to say, Sami Allahu liman hamida. Because Allah asked him to say, Sami Allahu liman hamida means Allah has heard the one who says Alhamdulillah. So the formula of the prayer changed because of that. If we were to be driving a fast car and we see a Morris Minor in front or a Fiat 600 those days, driven by an old man, what do? You just go, make sure that he goes to the side so that he can overtake. And when you overtake, you show your hand. No respect at all to the elder. It does not matter whether the elder is a Muslim or non-Muslim. When we say elder here, it is everyone. It is everyone. When you see an older non-Muslim, doesn't mean that you don't have to regard him, you don't have to respect him. No, you still have to respect him because he's older than you. Right? But some people, when he's older, he takes advantage. That should not be the case, because there are instances, there are hadith which say that you should make it easy for people to respect you. And don't make it difficult. Just because you have that position, then You make it difficult for us, for people, no. So, there is no. And when you serve the drink or serve the food, the same thing. That you got to go to the most respected. It could be because of age, it could be because of scholarship, or it could be because of his stature. Otherwise, you can go anywhere. If someone were to ask for the drink, someone comes to your house, it's a big group, and then suddenly says, "Can I have a cup of coffee, please?" Because he's very thirsty, otherwise he wouldn't ask for it. So you ask for a cup of coffee, then you have the right to give it. He has the right to give first, whoever he is. But if nobody asks, then you should go to the most elderly. And if he comes after you, you should give him a good seat. You should not take the best seat and simply sit there without standing up. Imam Malik one day was teaching, and suddenly he stood up. Stood up for some time, and then he sat down. And people asked him, why did he do that? He said, when I was teaching, my mother came to ask me for something, and she was standing up. So out of respect for her, I stood up. Until she left, then only I sit down. That's how he respected his mother. Even the mother calls you, even if you hear, the handphone is more important, the tablet is more important. Right? I've seen this. When the mother calls, even if you are praying Sunnah, some people say you should stop, some people say you should hasten the prayer. Finish it fast and then go and answer the mother's call. Don't just let her wait for you. Never ask your mother to wait. Never. Okay? Alright. Abu Dawud and Al-Hakim reported an authentic hadith that Maimun bin Abi Shabib recounted that a beggar stopped with the Prophet's wife Aisha radiallahu anha, and she gave him a piece of dry bread. And at another time, a properly dressed, well-groomed man asked her for food. She let him sit and offered him a meal. When asked about that, she replied that the Prophet ﷺ said, treat people according to their stature. Treat people according to their stature or status. Yeah. Imam An-Nawawi concluded this chapter by saying, Imam An-Nawawi, in fact, if you look at Riyadh al-Salihin, there is a very special section on respecting the elder, respecting the scholars and the leaders and so on. Right? So he concluded in his particular section of the book, Riyadh al-Salihin, the Sunnah is to start according to the following order, which I disagree slightly. It says age first. I don't think it's age first. It should be the knowledge first. Number one is knowledge. Number two is social status. Number three is age. Then only comes the rest, lineage, veterans of jihad, generosity or something. Nowadays, no more veterans of jihad. We don't have that. Right? Okay. Some people who misunderstood the real meaning of some texts of the Sunnah claim that the Sunnah is to start with those on your right, whoever he is. Right? There was an instance when the Prophet ﷺ was seated. On his right was a young Bedouin, a Bedouin. On his left was Abu Bakr, and he was offered a drink. So after drinking, he asked the Bedouin, can I get your permission to allow me to pass this drink to Abu Bakr. He said, no, I want it. So the Prophet also gave, despite the fact that Abu Bakr is more respected than this man. Because after him, the first person is the right, the right way. That is the person, whoever it is. Can be a boy, it doesn't matter. As long as it's the next one. Okay. So that's very clear. Then there is a story of a man. He is the master of the desert called Qais, and he has 33 sons. Yeah? And he is one who is very patient, who is very merciful, very generous, very compassionate, and so on and so forth. So somebody asked, where did you learn all these virtues? He said, from Abu Qasim. Yeah? So one day, it seems, according to this story, Abu Qasim has 33 sons. Right? So one day, somebody came with a body, dead body, and another person is being tied up. Right? And the person who brought these two is one of his sons. So his son said, Father, this man is my cousin, and this person who died is my brother, is your son. So this cousin of mine killed your son. And at that time, this wise man was talking to some people, and he ignored what this fellow said. He ignored him. Just carried on his conversation with the others until he finished. And then he told the cousin, look, you have committed a grave sin, you have killed your cousin, and so on and so forth. Then he told his son, you untie the cousin, go and bury your brother, and give his mother, that is his wife, 100 camels as compensation for his guilt. That's all. That's how sympathetic, how merciful he is, how compassionate he is. So that's why the Prophet ﷺ said, you are the master of the desert. Okay. But you can read that one, otherwise I won't finish. Next one, manners with parents. I think manners with parents is understood. It's enough to say that the mother is more important than the father, because the Prophet ﷺ, when asked who I should be loyal to, he said, your mother. And then he said, who's next? Your mother. Who's next? Your mother, 3 times. And then who's next? Your father. Right? So that's very, very clear. And this man, the wise man said, don't you think that you should respect and be kind to your parents, because there is no other person in this world who will love for you more than he loves for himself. A parent will love the children, right, more than he loves for himself. He would love to see his children become more successful than him. He would love to see his children doing very well, very healthy, and so on and so forth. Right? No other person will have that kind of feeling for you. So this guy told the sons, that is why you must make sure that you look after your parents, you look after your mother. So they are the only ones in this world who will ever feel that way for you. So they deserve, right, to be given all the kindness. When you talk about kindness, what do you mean? Kindness means you do everything you can to serve him. The word is to serve. The word is to provide service. Your wealth should not be, restricted at all as far as his needs are concerned. So give any amount within the needs, as long as you can afford. Right? Should give him any amount. So, in terms of wealth, in terms of time, in terms of effort, in terms of everything, right? You should never hesitate, right, to serve him. And that's what we're talking about, being kind to the parents. Those who have parents, you are still lucky. I don't have any more. But those who don't have parents, there are other ways of showing your kindness to your parents. And that is your dua. Right? It is the dua that can make sinners, right? That can make sinners, right, to be completely purified. In other words, all the sins can be forgiven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the dua of people, the dua of the children. So make as much dua as you can for your parents, as much. Every prayer you can say, Rabbi Ghfirli wa walidayya. Every time you say Rabbi Ghfirli, you just add wali walidayya. Every time Rabbi Ghfirli, you add wali walidayya, and that's enough. And the prayer for the dead is the prayer that will be most answered, without doubt. The prayer for the dead is always the prayer that is most answered. So without doubt. That is why if a person is a sinner, he could be cleansed completely if he receives a lot of dua from people who are still alive. So make sure that you make as much dua as possible. Kindness to parents is obligatory, is a fard. To be kind to parents is a fard. To look at his face, to look at his face also is also a form of worship. You get ajr, you get reward for looking at the face. Right? So what more when you do more things for them? Right? Children should not walk ahead of their parents, nor speak ahead of them in matters that they know are their father's knowledge. Children should wholeheartedly avoid upsetting their parents and should seek their pleasure as much as possible. Making your parents' life enjoyable is one of the most virtuous acts. I have a son here, so he knows what I mean. Children must hasten to respond to the parents' call. Right? If you are praying sunnah, cut short. Cut short doesn't mean you make one sujood instead of two. Make it faster. Right? Instead of 2 rakat, you make 1 rakat. No such thing. Of course, it is the parents' duty to make it easier for the children to be kind to them by being kind and generous to their children. But without Allah's help, people cannot become obedient, nor can they perform His commands. Okay? You may encounter various difficulties when serving your mother and father, but do not forget that their rights are multiples of these difficulties. They have much more right than the difficulties that you are going through. So don't think that if it is difficult, no need to do no such thing. Okay. Next, tell your family your whereabouts. This is the next topic. If you are going anywhere, please tell your family. If your wife is at home, tell her where you are going.
All the time?
Yes. All the time. But if it is automatic, it's different. Every morning you have to go to work. You don't have to tell her. Right? And you go to work, people know where your workplace is. Right? That's okay. But once in a while you go out station and so on, you never tell your wife, that's all. Right? Okay. So tell your family your whereabouts. Right? That's important. There's a story here. Imam Ahmad reported that narrated that he went with Abu Mashar to visit Al-Sha'bi. His family said he was not home. Qatada asked, where did he go? His family said, we do not know. Qatada then said, you mean he does not tell you where he goes? They said, yes. Telling your family where you are lessens their worries, besides putting you and them at ease if you were late, since they know where you are. You know, sometimes it's not just going away that you have to tell. You know, the other day it happens to me. I was going to the shop. You know, my wife asked me to get something in the shop. So I went to the shop because I know the shop will close at 9. So I went earlier so that I can buy whatever she needs. But while paying for the bill, I heard the azan. Right? So immediately, and I have the wudu. I just prayed Maghrib before that. So I went back to the mosque. On the way to the mosque, I called my wife to tell her that I'm now going to the mosque, so that she knows that I'll be coming back late, you know, a bit late. But unfortunately, she was not answering. But I was not thinking, you know, I should say I'm a fool. I should have sent a WhatsApp message that I was going to the mosque. Whilst praying, she calls me so many times on the phone. Yeah. You see, because you know that you are going somewhere and then you change your destination, right? And you know that you are going to get late, you know. Therefore, you should inform her. Not that I didn't want to inform her, I did want, but unfortunately she was not asking, but I should have. You know, so of course, when I called her later on, she was not very happy. He was very upset. You should have told me. At least you must have me. Yeah, I'm sorry. So that, something unusual. You have to tell her. And nowadays it's easy to tell. Right? Very easy. Message, WhatsApp, whatever. Next, respect the poor. Don't look at poor as someone, you know, just because you are better off than I just cannot. You know, one sultan of Kuala, not this one, but the father, they call him Sultan Abu Bakar. They call him Sultan, yang itu tuan Pekan, and orang itu Pekan. He was very much liked by the people. Why? Because he used to take, he used to have lunch with poor people. He will invite the poor to the istana, to the palace, and have lunch together with his poor people. To that extent, a king who can do that. You know, how many of us can eat with the driver? I've seen people, when they go to the restaurant with the driver will be in the next different table, somewhere at one corner, and they are in the main table. It happens. We cannot even be with the driver. After all, he's also a human being. He eats with the hand or with the fork and spoon. He eats the same food. Of course, you pay for the bill, then it goes without saying, but can't you say that? I have a friend, a very elderly person also, a very wise man. And if he were to go for lunch, if his driver is not allowed to sit with him, he'll be very angry. One day I went for a wedding, and I saw him, with the driver next to him. And next to the driver is a very big man in the organization, number one in the organization. So when I saw them, I said, okay, I know. And this is what respect is. And you can imagine how the response of the driver to him. He'll look after him. Okay. I heard of someone, one driver was complaining. He said, for so many years I was driving him, he never even said thank you. Never even said thank you. Anyway, we have to learn manners. We have to learn manners. Okay. Next is the relationship with the non-Muslim. Right? You see, a non-Muslim, if he is our neighbor, he has equal right as any other neighbor. Don't think just because he is a non-Muslim, he is our next door neighbor, he is not our neighbor. No, he is our neighbor as much as another neighbor. A Muslim will have two rights. A Muslim neighbor will have two rights. The first right is the right as a neighbor. The second right is the right as the brother in Muslim, in Islam. Whereas the other guy is only neighbor, one right at least. The Prophet ﷺ used to have a Jewish boy who helps him with water for ablution and his shoes. And one day this boy was sick, very seriously ill. So he visited him. And the father of the boy was seated at the head of the boy. And when the Prophet saw him gravely ill, and knowing him for so long, because he has been with him, helping him, so he told him, why don't you believe in Allah? Why don't you believe in Allah? And then he looked at the father. The father was silent. He kept quiet. He said, why don't you believe in Allah? He said again. Look at the father again. The father said, believe in Abu Qasim. Believe in the Prophet. Because Abu Qasim means Prophet. Because the son, his eldest son is Qasim. So believe in Abu Qasim. Then he said, I believe in Allah and I believe in you as my messenger. And he died. So the Prophet said, thank Allah because He has allowed me to save one soul. So, as a Muslim, we should also pray for the non-Muslim so that they get the hidayah to become Muslim. As much as we love to pray for another Muslim for his good, for his well-being, but we should also pray for a non-Muslim friend so that he gets the hidayah to become Muslim.
Can we pray for our non-Muslim parents when pass away?
No. If he has passed away, we cannot. We cannot, because if he has passed away, there is no way that he can become a Muslim. Right? One. When people have passed away, the only thing that we can pray for is to pray so that his sins are forgiven. And that we cannot do. That we cannot do. Because the Prophet ﷺ, when he wanted to pray for his parents, he was told not to. He was told not to, so he did not. In other words, we cannot do that. But for those alive, yes. For those alive, we are not praying so that they are forgiven. But we are praying so that they get the hidayah, the tawfiq and hidayah to become Muslim. That's it. Okay. I have any more? I think that's all I have. Yeah. So, one more.